from people who are successful from what they have, but you can tell that you can see the influence and you can see the foundation, but the house is theirs. It's too many suburbs where all the houses look the same.
Yeah.
And I think that's the problem with where influence is now because it's becoming an influence. You know that your mama said them not my child. He got to be influenced by somebody else bad. Well, I don't know. I've heard your stories about how you grew up. Your mom might have said, "Yeah, it's definitely my child that did that." But
No, my dad would say that, but my mom always thought that that no, it wasn't him. She'd always think that it wasn't me, but my dad always knew it was me. So, but just I don't know if I don't think that's fair. I think because of the sectors are different, the spheres are different. Because we're looking at them from a spiritual standpoint, but we're not looking at businesses that are birthed from them and things of that nature. And me being in business and having a span of businesses over a span of time, or plethora of businesses over a span of time, better term, I know the importance of doing a thing just so that it can help me unlock the next thing. So I've had a windshield repair business, a janitorial business, 2 furniture stores, my own school, counseling services, some real estate. I mean, so I've had a number of different. I've always pretty much been an entrepreneur. That's my field. That's what I believe in. That's what I preach. Everybody else that's saying, "Hey, you can go work in corporate America," I'm not saying you shouldn't, but I'm saying that there are gifts and abilities that are in you that you should not leave on the table. If you leave it on the table, somebody else is going to capitalize off of it. So yes, they may pattern after me in another area, pattern, which again, I'm not against. I'm not against. But every house in the suburb, in the community, may be patterned after on the outside. Structure may be, but no house is decorated the same. On the ins, when you get on the inside, there's different activity, different things on the wall, different flooring, different curtains, different utilization of space. So I don't see a problem in providing a prefab structure for you to get started in and outgrow that house. I don't see a problem personally in saying, "Hey, I'm going to show you how to walk this out. I'm not going to tell you to be like me." Now, I think that the thing is, as a person with influence, I have to be sure and secure that I'm not seeking someone to worship me. Number one, I don't want no one to work. If I'm seeking praise, popularity, and applause, then I'm not going to be somebody that God can use in that aspect. So I want to be somebody that I just saying, I want to be responsible with my influence. I want to lead you to be an individual thinker. I want you to be able to come up with solutions on your own. I want you to be able to process things at accelerated rate on your own, because I can't cripple you and make you dependent upon me. But I don't have a problem with showing you how to do it and then placing a demand on what I've deposited in you. I know Ron Welch said it this way: you should never look or demand out of someone something you haven't taken the time to deposit in them. So if I pour into you enough, yeah, we'll fix all that other things. I see that you probably want to be like me a little bit more. So I'm gonna say, "Hey, listen, no, you have your own identity. What do you want to do? What do you want?" That's me as a person, making sure I don't lead them to me, but I lead them through me to something. And there's something for me is Christ, and to business and things of that nature. So yeah, I gotta develop that in them, but that's not with everyone. But that's with some that I have to make sure that I pour into them so I can place a demand on that. So that's why I don't think it's a bad thing.
I think it's the onus, and where another part where we differ is that you look at the onus as being on the influencer, and
I look at the oldest.
the onus, sorry,
Okay.
like the responsibility on the influencer. But
Uh-huh.
I think that outside of children, there's no responsibility on the influencer. It's on the influencee. It 100% is. Okay, let's.
I don't agree.
I don't want to smirch the brand. I don't want to besmirch the brand. But okay, power. We like power, right? There are grown men that didn't start wearing suits until they seen James St. Patrick wear it. A fictional drug dealer, they did not start wearing suits until they seen a fictional drug dealer wear it on a TV show. That's not crazy to you? Those are things that are on. But like look, and I'm getting somewhere with that, right? So whenever it's things like that, it's like, okay, that's a choice that you made, but you can't blame, like, we're not about to blame 50 Cent for if somebody decides to say, oh, I watch Power, I can go move drugs like that, and then they get caught. Oh, we need to move this off the streets. Oh, you listen to NBA Youngboy so you can crash out. If you're a kid, sure, right? You in your 20s and 30s, and a song or a video or a movie or a person or whatever can make you change the decision that you knew that it influenced your decision to the point to where you're changing yourself. That's on you. It's not on somebody to direct that you have to be your own person. It's not on whether or not you to cripple them, right? The people that go and look to you for stuff, it's not on you to say, like some of the people, Jesus, I haven't pushed this out there. But like if somebody went to you and said that, hey, I'm trying to figure this out with my boss. I thought about this. I just wanted your opinion on it. That's cool, right? Hey, if somebody went to you and said, hey, I don't like my job, what should I do? That's it. That means that they said, forget whatever I'm thinking about doing with it. I'm gonna just go to him to do it because I don't trust my own decision making to do it. That's on the person.
And you're telling me that we don't have a world full of that?
That's what I'm saying. We do have a world full of that, and I'm saying right now it's compounded.
But the reason we have that world full of that is because of this subject of influence. I believe it's because of this one subject. In the 1930s, we're coming out of the Renaissance era. Harlem is booming. Black people are starting to discover their gifts and abilities. They're birthing hip hop, not just hip hop, but they're doing it through jazz. That's how they're birthing hip hop. So that's how they're doing it. So now they're birthing that. You're getting into the 50s, you're getting into the 60s, you're getting into the 70s. Jazz, funk are really starting. Disco is really starting to go. Hip hop shows up. 70s or so. All right. So now what happens in 1963, 64, 62, 63? The government comes out with this great idea of we're going to offer government assistance to single parent homes. Struggling families now get the opportunity to receive a paycheck every month. Here's the qualification. The father cannot be in the home. The father cannot be in the home. That's what the government issued out. My mom was one of those individuals that turned down. She got married young, her and my dad, and we struggled growing up because they turned down government assistance because my dad was saying, I'm not willing to say I'm not in the home, and I'm not willing to not be in the home. I have to be in the home with my kids. I don't care how they can help us get to a better place or they can at least provide. What was the effect of that? We removed all influence out of the home of any leadership style. We made it solely primarily upon the mother. That's fine. Mothers have done a great job with fathers absent. Now with fathers absent, a James St. Patrick can show up and they can see a man in a suit. They haven't seen that though. And that's not our fault. It's because somebody else understood the value of some type of influential presence, especially among young men. So it doesn't have
1960, 1970, 1980, even 1990, I will give you that 1,000 times over 1,000. We are in the largest age of information ever. Everybody has one of these. Every single person has one of these, has access to these to go get to whatever. And they have so many ways to find information. Whether the information is accurate or not, you cannot just lean on one opinion. That I never seen it, that I don't see it, that I'm not around it, that I don't have it, that's not an excuse anymore. Because you can find anything if you decide to think just a little bit harder into the realm of curiosity. You don't even have to think critically, you just got to think curiously. and be like, well, if I don't like this, what are my options? If somebody goes to you with that same question, remember I said the job example, right? Somebody goes to you with the same question of, I don't like my job, what should I do? They can go to a library, they can go to a friend, they can go to anywhere. It's a very small population of people on the planet that do not have access to some kind of search engine to find information, and you will get millions of results. So that's not an excuse anymore of what happened in there. But I'm glad that you did bring back the times, because you know what else was going on in the 50s, the 40s, 50s, and 60s with black people? Innovation.
Yes.
Innovation was going on.
Hence the reason.
Innovation was going on. I think that people have gotten lazy, and I think that people have gotten mentally lazy in terms of things that they feel that they can produce. I think they have gotten lazy in terms of their aspirations. People make their goals for them, and that is just a fact. They look at people who are at a level that is just above theirs, and they say, you know what, I'm gonna go get that. And that's across all aspects. That's not just in business. That's in the dating pool. That's in the dating pool. If a dude see another dude that they feel that they comparable with, and they with a better woman, them dudes will go leave their woman and go try to find somebody better. If a woman think that she prettier than this other girl, and that other girl got a rich man and she got a poor man, she will leave until she try to find her a rich man now. And that's just the fact. Because people have gotten lazy, because instead of going after what they want, instead of thinking about what they might want or they want to achieve, they're letting other people influence, they're letting other people identify because they want to be that person.
And I agree with you 100% on that aspect, but I don't think it's an influence issue. I agree with you 100% that it's mentally lazy. But because I know your mother, I know that she pushed you mentally. I met a young man 2 days ago. I pushed the whichever one. She helped shape your mind to be a go-getter for information. So I met a young man yesterday or 2 days ago, and I'm talking to him, and he's 14, 15 years old. He stays across the street from the church. He just started coming to the church. So our organization is going over to meet with his family. And I said, what are we going over to talk with him about? And they said, well, he hadn't been to school in 2 years. Say he hadn't been to school in 2 years. What was the last grade he completed? They say last grade he completed was the 5th grade. So he was 12 years old in the 5th grade that he hadn't been to school in 2 years. There is nothing in that young man's mind living in that level of poverty, that level of embarrassment and shame, and that level of hopelessness that says, let me go find the knowledge. And the powers to be understand the power of influence. They understand, or they wouldn't be putting LeBron James in front of a Sprite can. The commercial literally said, LeBron said, I would never tell you to drink Sprite. That's not something I would do. I would never tell you to drink Sprite, although it will help you quench your thirst. This citrus taste is amazing, but do not drink Sprite. He's literally out of his mouth saying, don't drink it. But he knows that his presence and his influence has more sway. And if we don't have more Hey Jai, if we don't have more Johnny Young, if we don't have more Derek Favors, if we don't have more individuals that are stepping out there saying, no, let me mentor. How many of us really become? I can't tell you the last time I went back in Hollywood, in Shreveport, in the neighborhood I come from, and really said, here's what I do business-wise. Here's what I do in society. Here's how I got here. I haven't held a seminar. I hadn't done it. Now I've been back down there to speak to different schools when there was high violence and things of that nature. I do it here in Baton Rouge. But how many of us become successful and we never use that level of influence in that area? I'm not going to tell everybody they need to shave their head like me and they need to walk like me. But I wouldn't mind having those young men to say, all right, here's how you tie a tie. Just so you'll know how to do it. You may never want to wear a tie, but you'll know how to do it. And it'll distinguish you from everyone around you. That's me using the influence. And that's why I don't think it's a bad thing, because it's one of the most important things. I believe that there are two.
Oh no.
The most powerful two things, influential wise. We're going off?
No.
The most powerful two things, influence. The most powerful two things, influential wise, would be DNA and culture. I believe we've created a culture of mentally laziness. This is one of the things that help. The very thing that gives us the information helps us become crippled mentally, where we let someone else program our minds for us rather than us feeding our minds what we should need. So I'm not making excuses because
I add
excuses bring
media
no
to that.
genius. Excuses
I,
bring no genius. So I'm not making excuses.
I'll add media to that because, and I think media has surpassed culture because I think that we're past. It's become what we see. It's become information now is now entertainment,
Yeah.
right? In every realm, information is entertainment. If you see some of the people on CNN and it's like some of the political correspondents, you know, the ones that got the notoriety and the money, it's the ones who come in with that, with the one-liners. It's the ones who come in with the like like they know what they're talking about, right? But like a Angela Rye or something like that. She knows what you're talking about, but she gonna have like a snappy one line. Ha ha ha. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna go viral or something like that. All right. And it's we have to make the entertainment. Donald Trump got elected off of that. Off of just being entertaining.
Yeah.
Off of just being entertaining and throwing in some information. Whether the information is true or not. That's what we accept now. But the information is there and it's diverse enough. It's not the information isn't as linear or it isn't as streamlined, right? It's not like even whenever I was growing up, it's the news. You can click on 4 or 5 different news stations, they all say the same thing. Same way.
Yeah.
Now it's different way. You can hear the same two things, but even the tone, the parts that they bring up, the parts that they highlight are completely different. They just had an incident in Liberty Lagoon a couple days ago, right? I've seen it. I've seen it reported 2 ways. Over aggressive police officers slam and attack young girl, right? Young teenage girl.
Yeah.
All right. Watching the same video, showing the same tape. Then the other one was rowdy and violent teenagers at Liberty Lagoon, blah, 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 right? It's how it's being spun, but it's there. The option is there. See, I think that we can't give people the excuse anymore. And, you brought up the young man. I don't know the young man, things like that. But, like, it's not an excuse anymore because it is and he's a child, so I'll let that rock. But once you get into adulthood, man, once you get into adulthood, if you struggling with that thing that you don't like about your adulthood, you're gonna find a way to change it. To get some transparency, I had a nice job. I had a nice job about a year or so ago. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I was miserable going to work every day. But you know what I did? I found something that I like. I found this. I was doing this. I was doing that. TV show and stuff like that. Okay, what jobs can I get that will help me in this?
Yeah.
Right? What jobs can I get that's gonna have this salary that's gonna help me in this? And sometimes you're gonna eat stuff that you don't want to get to the next thing, or you're gonna find a way to do it because it's too accessible. I'm not special because I know how to Google. You're not special with that. And I think that it's just gotten to a point to where like now we give people cop outs, right? And I think that whole it's not a culture thing anymore. I think that the people that are propped up, the people that are propped up, we're propping up a lot of finished products. We're propping up a lot of finished products that only know how to do it one way.
There's a reason. There's a reason why. Let's just talk hip hop. There's a reason why they went to great lengths to dumb down lyrics. There's a reason why being lyrical is not attractive anymore. It doesn't sell. There's a reason why they wanted it, because the emphasis are on the pictures versus the information. So if I dumb down the lyrics, you're not desensitized to receiving information. I agree with you. Everything is here. It's actually on the same app you look on every day. If you're on Instagram, if you're on TikTok, if you're on some of the people that I follow, some of the things that I follow, the DIYs, do it yourself, the DIY, excuse me, do it yourself, the uh, survival tactics, the real estate investments, the all of those are in the same pages. If I go one page over or look up the wrong site, now I'm feeding myself information. So I don't think it's solely upon influence. I think it's an appetite issue as well. I think we have a taste globally, because I was in Africa months ago, and you'll be amazed at the amount of people that are in Africa that want to be a hip hop star in a village with grass huts. And it was like, where did you get this from? I mean,
because we see the one way. They've been influenced by the one way. If you look at Black America, if you look at everybody pops up as a great, it's an entertainer. It's an entertainer. Why would I want to sit down with Jay-Z? I know how Jay-Z got rich. Not saying that I wouldn't ever want to sit down with Jay-Z, but if I could get $500,000, I'm not about to go trade that in to go sit and talk with Jay-Z for 45 minutes over his thing. I know how Jay-Z got rich. Jay-Z sold drugs and Jay-Z could rap. Jay-Z could rap and he caught one. Jay-Z did something that 2% of people will probably ever be successful at, and he caught one. The only difference between Jay-Z and everybody else that was rapping in the 90s at that time, he was smart enough to take advantage of his opportunities that came from rap. I just talked about this with a friend in the group chat. They said that, do you think that athletes like Floyd and LeBron and all them would still be rich if they weren't athletes? Would they be rich? Who knows? But you're not about to take away credit from the people who maxed out their opportunities from how they got there. But here's the thing. A lot of them, the entertainers that we prop up, they only know how to get there one way. And now, even though we're starting to see other ways to do it, it's still not expensive enough, right? Because people will see somebody in that field, and just to get there fast, they're gonna mimicry. They're gonna mimic that, and that's the issue.
That's where a mentor comes in. A mentor tells you pace. A mentor tells you, yes, you're gonna mimic some things like them, but they're there to tell you, say, hey, this is not gonna be an overnight thing. Let's work real hard to save $500 as fast as we can. Now that you have $500, let's push it to get another 500. Now that you have that, let's go buy an adjudicated property. We may spend, we're gonna bid the most on that. We're gonna bid half of our money, 500 on it. Now that you have that property, we're gonna go get a secured loan on that property to buy 2 more properties on adjudicated property. We only spent 500. Now we got a loan against that property where we have 3,500 on an empty lot that we have to really invest in it. But a mentor does that. A mentor does that. It's not a matter of just, that's why I said that person has to be responsible with it. People are going to follow LeBron anyway because of who he is. Now, what he does with that, that's why he opened his school. He opened his school because I want to leave some type of lasting impact and legacy. Not just to be a financial channel for me to have a tax break, but for me to have a lasting impact of legacy from where I'm from. And there are not enough of us that really go back to pour into, to give some type of lasting hope, because that's the whole reason we have fruit in our lives. We have fruit to show someone that what we're doing works. And you may not get this fruit, but you will get some fruit.
We are going to have a shortage, or it's going to lead to a monopoly on a lot of things that we need, especially in our community. And I'll bring you back on for the other episode when I talk about how we can really advance the Black community. Because we talk that might be the episode, but I don't know if I want to do that one yet, because that might be it's gonna come. But anyway, but we're gonna run out of a shortage in the country and the community on things that we need, on positions that we need. We're going to run out of electricians. We're going to run out of engineers. We're going to run out of doctors. I remember being in college. It was like my sophomore year of college. It was like 2019. It was like 2018, 2019. NYU was offering free housing, free, for people to just sign up for med school there, because they had a shortage of medical school students. Because the med students, people not trying to be med students no more. Those numbers is getting lower and lower. We're going to have a bunch of podcast hosts, which is ironic. We're going to have a bunch of podcast hosts. We're going to have a bunch of people that's going to try to teach you how to do stock. We're going to have a bunch of people that are going to take pictures with shine outfits on Instagram. We're going to have a bunch of people that do lashes. We're going to have a bunch of business and marketing coaches. We're going to have a lot of them, a lot of social media coaches. We're going to have a lot of them. We're going to have a lot of lash coaches. And we're going to have a lot of people selling plates of Rotel Dew. So when the power get cut off, when your mans get shot, or whenever the bridge fall down and you need somebody to weld it.
But that was all about design.
Look how many views I got on TikTok.
That was all about design. That was all about design, though. To do that, they took craft and skill out of school. The carpentry, woodwork is not in school anymore. So we wanted to make either you go to college or you're not successful, the picture. We wanted to make that the picture. We didn't want having a trade, being a plumber, being an electrician, being an HVAC certified technician, owning your own business attractive. It was either, and that's to completely wipe out the middle class. We want to get rid of middle class status. That's what I think the world, or especially our government, wants to get rid of middle class status.
Influence.
And they're using influence to do it.
The people that was propped up with the people that was propped up, the people that were influenced were the people in the suits. You said you wanted to teach young men how to go and tie a tie. I think it's more important for a young man to know how to go change the brakes in his car, how to change his oil.
At least to it.
That is just as important as instead of learning how to tie a tie. Instead of learning how to give a presentation. And you talking to, listen, my mama said they don't make men like your grandfather. You sure right, Ma. They don't. Because I don't like working with my hands. I don't like working with my hands. I don't like working outside. It's stuff I know how to do. And I understand the value that is in blue collar workers. But we need more of them. We need more skilled people, not just blue collar workers. We need more skilled laborers. I think people are becoming unskilled. I know I made the video being likable is a skill, which is great. It's great to be likable, but in times of crisis, who are we going to lean on if everybody's doing the same thing? If people aren't trying to diversify skill sets, it's not. I think we okay. Now that we've reignited the entrepreneurial spirit in people, especially in my age, the go-getter spirit, the we don't have to work for the corporation spirit, that's great. Now we need to start diversifying assets. I remember in like 2017, 2018, it was like so many dudes. This was TV mounters. Hey, holla at my cousin, he mount TVs now. Holla at so-and-so, he mount TVs now. You can't do nothing else? You can just mount the TV? I'm the best TV mounter in Dallas. I'm the best TV mounter in Savannah. All right, bro. Like, what else you got? They got like 4 news that's trying to do that.
But okay, I mean, they may have developed some other skill now. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to look at it through a small scope and say, well, in 2017, you were a TV mounter. And now you're saying, well, no, I do more than TV mount now. I don't know. I also sell bottled water now. I mean, at least you progress into diversification. And diversification is extremely important. So I agree with you 100% that you have to diversify. At one point, when I owned a furniture store in Shreveport, Louisiana, I had a lot of money coming in. When the economy crashed, I ended up opening another store in Baton Rouge, closing that store. I opened one in Baker, and then I ended up selling that store. And when the economy crashed on that, I then learned a valuable lesson that you don't have to have one flow to have a large amount of income. Small streams of income can add up to a lot. So if you diversify this and you not only diversify your funds, your ideas, but your energy.
All rivers lead to the ocean.
Yeah, all of it do. It is a small rivers lead to an ocean. Like you said about your job, it's like, hey, I had a really good job, but I was miserable. So what could I do and what could free my time up for me to do what I love and then to begin to invest in me, bet on me. And that's what I'm big on. That's what I'm saying to everybody. That's why I think influence is important for someone like me, because I know influence is something that is out there. It's going to be used anyway. I want to use it to help you bet on you. I want to use it to lead you to a place where there's self-awareness and you discover who you are and you're saying, hey, I can do something. It may not be what you're doing and it may not be what Dr. Young is doing, but it's something I can do.
But
Everybody that I mentor, they don't start schools. Like I have a school, they don't start schools, but they all lead to some place of confidence and operation that produces some form of success for them.
see, and I guess in closing thoughts, because you know, wow, I'm probably break it up 2 episodes, but in closing thoughts, uh, they aren't betting on themselves. A lot of them, at least from what I see. Maybe I'll be yet to be proven, but it doesn't seem like that they're betting on themselves. It seems like they're betting on you because what they're seeing is something that what they think worked, and I think that's what not just with you, but they're betting on you. They're betting on Hove. They're betting on what's my man? They're betting on EYL, the Earn Your Leisure guys, you know what I'm saying? They're betting on insert person who do lashes, right? They're betting on Nadia, right? Nadia, French Water Business Cup. They're betting on that because they seen that work. So they're gonna go for what works. And I think that is fear. And I think that's 100% fear based. It's not necessarily just influence based, but I think that's fear based.
I don't always call it betting on their end. If it's again, it's on the person. In closing remarks, it's on the person that has the influence to steer and direct for them to bet on themselves. But going to Nadia Francois, going to myself or someone else, or going to a Felicia Borski Young or anybody, going to a Kelsey Favors or anybody else that's doing that type of work of development or anything like that, I don't think it's betting on that individual. That's more of an investment in yourself then.
No,
Because
I'm
you
not
don't
talking
know
about
where to
going to
start.
them. I'm
You
talking
don't know
about
how to
joining them.
develop a balance sheet. You don't know how to invest in a Roth IRA so that you can have a growth stock mutual fund. All of those things. So when someone like myself show up and say, no, this is somebody that I came from poverty, I came from prison, I came from the hood. I'm from the hood. This is how I get to a level of success and a level of victory, not just with the things I have, but with the peace of mind that I have and the security and confidence that I have. How did I get here? Here's how I got it. Now I need you to bet on yourself about it. And I'm going to walk you through the process. And it may take time. It may take longer with some people than others. And I'm going to go out with this closing statement saying, I'm going to say this like Cat Williams. This is probably going to be the biggest interview. This is about to blow the internet up. You're probably about to get 3 million views overnight with this video. So I'm just going to put this out there. This was a really good interview.
It was good. It was good. It was good. It was good. And we can keep arguing all night. You said something in there. You said this is how I became successful, but you never said this is how you. But you never said you need to look at what I did and think about how you can become successful because this is how I did it. How are you gonna do it? So, but we'll say that for another day, another time. I had to get the last word in, but yeah. Jive fam. This has been another great episode of Hey Jive with Dr. Johnny Young Jr. Any closing words, Brandon, anything like that?
Amazing job. I enjoyed it. It was a great conversation. You're probably one of the most diverse, knowledgeable thinkers, creative thinkers that I know. And it's a privilege to be on here. If you're looking for me, you can follow me on Facebook at Johnny B. Young Jr. You can follow me on Instagram or on TikTok at J Young International. Or you can just go over to one of my business websites, either jyounginternational.org or at hopebible.us. Hopebible.us. God bless everyone.
All right. All right, man. It's been great. It's been Hey Jive. Follow the Instagram, IMS Productions 2023. YouTube, IMS Studios. I got changed it. I changed it. So it's IMS Studios in there. It's gonna be the first Hey Jive episode with the new logo coming out. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, like I said, man, we got some good things coming. So it's probably gonna be released in a 2-parter, but thanks for coming out. Yeah, we out.